you were surprised when your wife and mother to your children or child asked you for a divorce, you are not alone. Hi, my name is Andrew Chase, and I have a master's in spiritual psychology. And I wrote a book on conscious uncoupling for parents, and now I've started doing videos directed just at fathers. Anyone can watch these videos, but since the whole concept of conscious uncoupling was created by a woman, and most of the advice out there on having an amicable and healthy divorce comes from the female perspective. So I've decided to create a space where men can come and vent and share and be heard by other men. There's no judgment here, just brutal honesty, with a focus on making your relationships with your former spouse and children as hurt-free as possible. In America, the average boy is not brought up to connect with his deeper emotions like girls are. If a boy cries, typically his father would tell him to rub some dirt on it, get up, and be a man. This is starting to change in some parts of the country, but statistically it is a very low percentage. And most likely if you're watching this video, it is because you fall into that demographic. Girls, on the other hand, if they cry, they immediately have an arm around them, and they are told to let it out. They are encouraged to be in touch with their emotions. Men have the capacity to go to a deeper place, and some of the top empaths and intuitives in the world are male. However, it is much more of a learned trait and something that you would need to develop over time. If you ever heard your wife say that she is just not getting what she needs from you, and you don't understand what that means, as you help with the housework, take care of the kids when she is on a yoga retreat, have a healthy sex life, are involved in the shopping and gardening, and if so, you're not alone. When she says this, what she means is that you are just not making connection with her. And this comes back to how you were nurtured by your parents, and specifically your father or stepfather. When a woman has an affair, it is because she is not connecting with her partner. And it is not your fault because you weren't given the tools to begin with. And speaking of fault, the most important thing in conscious uncoupling, spiritual divorce, or amicable divorce is understanding that neither one of you is to blame for the marriage coming to an end. It is always 50-50 in the spiritual world. Even if your wife had an affair and your friends and family say, well, then it is her fault that the marriage failed, just because she outwardly did a more socially taboo and noticeable act, in the eyes of the universe, what humans rate as right or wrong, good or bad, has no bearing. Obviously, there are man-made laws, such as if you murder someone, you will be judged in a court of law and may end up in prison. However, the only jails I am referring to are the ones you create in your mind. For example, maybe you spent hours playing fantasy football. That is a way of cheating as well, because in the world I am speaking about, it is being present and connected. So there really is no difference between your wife being unfaithful to you with another person than you being unfaithful to her in your own world. And for a relationship to last, both parties need to be emotionally connected. Most marriages will not last because women and men just miss each other too much, which brings me to the title of this video, The Sixth Sense Effect. And hopefully you have seen the movie, otherwise a spoiler is coming up, and you may want to pause this video and go watch the movie. You won't be disappointed. So in The Sixth Sense, Bruce Willis did not realize he was dead till the end of the film. But when he looked back, it was apparent from the beginning he just missed the clues. That is the same thing with any marriage that ends in divorce. If you look back to even before you were engaged, you will see all the warning signs that this was not going to last till death do us part. Again, this is neither good nor bad. It is just helping you to realize that there was nothing you did to force your wife to ask for a divorce. You were only meant to be together for a fixed amount of time as husband and wife. And the fact that you had a child or children together meant that the universe had deemed that you were meant to be tethered together for the lifetime of your child or children for a greater learning. If you don't believe in a higher power than yourself, then this is not the channel or video for you, as the success of my teaching relies on that belief. What I'm going to teach you in the videos ahead is how to strategically move yourself from being a married couple to loving co-parents, whether you live apart or stay in the same house. Before we begin this journey together, one in which I have been on since early 2009, co-parenting 3 children now in their mid-teens to early 20s, we must have an understanding that we chose our spouses unconsciously for reasons that may never become apparent in our lifetime. But if looked at from a higher level, it can more quickly heal the pain of a broken heart and more likely a broken ego.
A quiz, hotshot.
Your exercise for this video is to go back to when you first met your wife and write down every time you can think of that you missed a sign that would indicate that you really weren't as compatible as you thought. Be honest with yourself, as your ego will want to fight you and say that there was never anything off and just out of the blue your wife just didn't want to be with you anymore. It is never just out of the blue. Once you have made the list, burn it, and if you typed it, delete it. It is not for you to carry around like De Niro in The Missionary, just for you to put your ego in a quick timeout. Then you can move ahead to the next video. If you feel what I've said has value to you, then please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you will get the next video as soon as it is released. Please comment down below with any thoughts or questions you might have, or any suggestions that have worked well for you in conscious uncoupling from your wife. Until next time, virtually yours, Andy.